"But you can't send him to a circus. You can't," said Bertie. "He'll be shut up behind bars. I promised him he never would be. And they'll point at him. They'll laugh at him. He'd rather die. Any animal would." But he knew, as soon as he looked across the table at them, it was hopeless. Their minds were quite made up. For Bertie, the betrayal was total. So that night, he made up his mind what had to be done. He waited until he heard his father's deep breathing next door. Then, with his white lion at his heels, he crept downstairs in his pyjamas, took down his father's rifle, and stepped out into the night. The compound gate yawned open noisily when he pushed it. But then they were out and running free. Bertie had no thought for the dangers around him, only that he must get as far from home as he could before he did it. The lion padded along beside him, stopping every now and again to sniff the air. A clump of trees became a herd of elephants wandering towards them out of the dawn. Bertie ran for it. He knew how the elephants hated lions. He ran and ran till his legs could run no more. As the sun came up over the veld, he climbed to the top of Kopje and sat down, his arm around the lion's neck. The time had come. "Be wild now," he whispered. "You've got to be wild. Don't come home. Don't ever come home. They'll put you behind bars. You hear what I'm saying? All my life, I'll think of you. I promise I will. I won't ever forget you." And he buried his head in the lion's neck and heard the greeting groan from deep inside him. He stood up. "I'm going now," he said. "Don't follow me. Please don't follow me." And Bertie clambered down off the Kopje and walked away. When he looked back, the lion was still sitting there watching him. But then he stood up, yawned, stretched, licked his lips, and sprang down after him. Bertie shouted at him, but he kept coming. He threw sticks, he threw stones. Nothing worked. The lion would stop, but then as soon as Bertie walked on, he simply followed at a safe distance. "Go back!" Bertie yelled. "You stupid lion! I hate you! I hate you! Go back!" But the lion kept loping after him. Whatever he did, whatever he said, there was only one thing for it. He didn't want to, but he had to. With tears filling his eyes and mouth, he lifted the rifle to his shoulder and fired over the lion's head. Once the lion turned tail and scampered away through the veld, Bertie fired again. He watched till he could see him no more, and then turned for home. He knew he'd have to face what was coming to him. Maybe his father would strap him. He'd threatened it often enough, but Bertie didn't mind. His lion would have his chance for freedom. Maybe not much of one. Anything was better than the bars and whips of a circus.